Since Nigeria's return to democracy in 1999, the journey democratically in Adamawa State have been characterized with developmental stride from different political parties who assumed superintendence of leadership in the state. But that of Right Honorable Fintiri is peculiar. Since he assumed the office of the governor of Adamawa State, Adamawa has been in the front burner of national discourse. Hello dear, it's a pleasure to have you join us on Political Affairs today on Karma TV. My name is Chris Jacobs, and of course I've been joined today by the only female lawmaker in Adamawa State, a strong woman, a woman of virtue, a woman of immense contribution to democratic dividends in our constituency, Honorable Kate Raymond. She joins me now to further the conversation. Honorable, it's a pleasure to have you on Political Affairs today.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. Now, I'd like to start, having set the premise for the conversation. How would you describe the democratic journey of Adamawa State since the assumption of office of Right Honorable Fintiri?
Wow, thank you. So far, so good. We in Adamawa State, since 2019, yes, we came on board with Right Honorable Dr. Fintiri as our leader, as the governor of the state. And I bet you the state has experienced a lot of tremendous changes. Talking about infrastructural changes, developmental changes, human capital, and what have you. You agree with me that Adamawa State has never had it like this before. And honestly, the credit goes to the kind of leadership of Mr. Governor, Right Honorable Dr. Fintiri. We truly appreciate, we've seen it, we've touched it, because he's a leader par excellence.
That's right.
And so Adamawa State cannot but to uphold the virtues of His Excellency, Right Honorable Dr. Fintiri.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Now, as the only female lawmaker in Adamawa State, how have you been faring alongside your colleagues? Because if you try to compare Adamawa State to other states, you will see that some states, particularly in the southern part of the country or eastern part of the country, they have more representation in terms of female lawmakers. But in the north, I think you're the only woman in the northeast part of Nigeria that is a female lawmaker, or I stand to be corrected.
Yeah.
But in Adamawa State, you are the only female lawmaker.
Yeah.
How have you been faring alongside your colleagues?
That's a very good question. Honestly, it has not been easy. But then, let me put it this way: my male counterparts are very, very cooperative.
Okay.
They so much give me that support, that moral support, that legislative support. Let me put it that way, in our own language. When I say legislative support, when it comes to sponsoring of bills, sponsoring of motions, and what have you, the male lawmakers are giving me all their best. So I didn't feel so lonely, so to say. But then, when it comes to the issue of women, that pertains the crux of women, honestly, I didn't find it easy, because I cannot discuss that with my male counterparts.
Right.
But then I have to go out to look for other stakeholders so that we can now put our heads together. When I got that information, then I'll come back to the floor of the house and relate it to my male counterparts. Honestly, it has been a very wonderful experience. But I thank God, because so far so good. They are supporting me whenever I got about bills of that pertains women and girls. They've never rejected it. And about being alone, we have Taraba here. They have two female lawmakers in the state assembly. Yeah. Initially in 2019, I had one in Gombe. We were two, but now in 2023. We had only two in Taraba and one in Adamawa State. Yes, honestly, it is so pathetic when it comes to election anyway. And you don't blame anybody. No, you don't, because this is an elective position. So you just have to come out and try your best. Yes.
Maybe the level of sensitization
And awareness.
and awareness. But are you satisfied with the 35 affirmative action that women have craved for even before now?
Before now. Not at all. We are not agitating for 35% affirmative action now. We've gone past that stage now in Nigeria. I can bet you we are moving further to create awareness, to create that sensitivity upon our people, our stakeholders, for the inclusion of women in politics, in governance. And that is why we are craving for this special seat.
Special seat for women in governance.
In governance.
All right. Now, before we go further on that, yesterday President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had signed, the electoral bill, into law, and has that given you some kind of a hope that perhaps, the forthcoming election might be transparent and, if possible, credible, much more than what have been obtained in the previous years?
Well, to some extent, there will be transparency. Let me talk that one that pertains me, the election. It is now about direct primaries or consensus. That's what the president signed into law. And I think the issue of delegates are no longer in effect for the election of candidates. And so I think these direct primaries, every registered member of a party can now vote a person of his choice, which is I think is very good. It's a welcome development in our political dispensation, and so I think there will be a little bit transparency and accountability as well, because when a member voted you into power, when you see the crop of people that voted you, you begin to wonder, you begin to know that people have you at their heart, and so you begin to work for the betterment of those people.
All right. As a lawmaker representing Demsa constituency, I have seen members of your constituent applauding you, pouring encomiums, on you regarding how you have been able to impact their life. But if I may ask, what is the driving force? What has driven you and inherently to do what you're doing for members of your constituency?
Yeah, actually, this is not far-fetched. The answer is not far-fetched, because what I did when I came on board was that to ensure that I sponsored a bill that will have direct bearing on my people.
That's right.
And invariably the whole state. Yeah, I sponsored my first bill that I sponsored, which the governor assented it into law, was the VAP bill.
That's right.
Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. That bill captured so many things. So many things in the sense that the first and foremost thing is about rape. When a child or when a young child is raped or a minor is raped, the punishment is 21 years imprisonment. And when you are molested as a person, not only a woman, when you are molested as a person, you have a court that can back you if you take it up.
That's right.
The court of law. And so these things have really impacted in the lives of our people and minimized this issue of raping, issue of violence in our society and what have you. And the other one I did was the health insurance scheme, which informed building of 21 cottage hospitals in all 21 local governments in Adamawa State. This is what we're having in all the states. In fact, His Excellency commissioned that of themselves sometimes last 2 years, because and it's one of them. So the whole 21 local governments are having this cottage hospital. That tells you that whenever you register with any health clinic in your local government, from 0 age to 5 years, free of charge. From 60 years and above, free of charge.
That's right.
These are very, very important.
Interesting, and of course, like Oliver Twist, members of the constituency are still asking for more.
Certainly.
But I would like you to ponder on this because we'll take a short break. When we return, you will still build on this conversation. Unlike what we have seen in other states, a feud between the executive and the legislature, but we have seen a cordial relationship all this while between the legislative arm and the executive arm of government here in Adamawa State. So when we return, you will talk to us on how that relationship has been, how has the cordiality of your relationship has been between you and the executive arm of government. All right. Well, you're watching Political Affairs on Karma TV. We'll take a short break, and when we return, there will be more on this conversation. And for those of you following the conversation live on Facebook page, I need you to send your comments, suggestions, and questions to the comment section. And probably Honorable Raymond, Kate Raymond Mamuno, a member representing Demsa constituency, will respond to some of your questions swiftly. Join us again. Alright, glad to know you're there. If you have just joined us, you're watching Political Affairs on Karma TV. I've been speaking with Honorable Kate Raymond Mamuno, member representing Demsa constituency at the Adamawa State House of Assembly, and she has been very vocal in terms of development and vision to make her people much more better than where she came in. All right. Now, before the break, I asked you this critical question. How has your relationship been, members of the legislative arm or executive arm of government in Adamawa State?
Very cordial.
Okay.
Very cordial. Extremely cordial. And the reason is simple. We must have that cordial relationship for the betterment of Adamawa State. Our people down at the grassroots, most especially, so that they can now enjoy the dividend of democracy. By the time we are, nagging each other or causing havoc amongst us, I bet you will never see this developmental stride that is happening in Adamawa State. No, not at all. And that is to say, whenever or whatever His Excellency brought to the table in the State Assembly, we will not take it serious. Of course, because we will think, why is he bringing it now? Why will he bring it? And that will affect our people down at the grassroots, because there will be no meaningful development, there will be no impact of this government. So we decide to work in harmony with the executive, simply because we want our people to experience the dividend of democracy. You can call us names. Fine.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask you that. Yeah. So somebody watching now will say because you're all members of the same party,
exactly.
the Democratic Party, so perhaps you are maybe a rubber stamp members of House of Assembly.
Far from it.
Whatever the governor brings in, you assent to it.
Okay. We better be rubber stamps than to be quarrelsome, than to be stubborn, to affect our people down at the grassroots. What's in it? We are here to represent our people, for crying out loud. And we cannot afford to see what will deter or what will kind of affect our people because of our selfish interests. You understand? That kind of a thing. And most of these policies that the governor brings to the House of Assembly have direct impact for our people. Why will we be, being a stumbling block or a kind of hindrance to the development of the state? I think it doesn't add up. We need to sit up and know that these policies are for the betterment of people. Look at the girl child policy. Look at the health insurance scheme policy. There are so many policies that the state government is bringing to the assembly for our confirmation and all what have you. So we cannot afford to say we will not confirm or will not approve it because the governor is not doing this to us, is not doing that to us. After all, what is it? What are we looking for that the governor hasn't done it? Nothing. And so I think let them call us names, let them call us our stamp. We for all we care, we know that it's for the betterment of our people.
Interesting. Now, recently, Governor, the Right Honorable Dr. Fintiri was applauded by His Excellency Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in Adamawa State. What does that mean to you as a lawmaker and to indigents of Adamawa State, having the #1 citizen come to Adamawa State applauding Governor Fintiri for his industrial and giant strides?
That is it. I said it. You see, the president knew what is good and knew what is good for the people. And he has seen it in the man, Fintiri. So why can't he applaud him? He must applaud him because he knows that what Governor Fintiri is doing is for his own people. The president said it categorically clear that day, that was on Monday, that when he entered the new government house, office of the governor, he said he felt that as if he shouldn't come down. And I bet you that office is like villa. That's all. So and the president said it. So I think if the president can make that commendation on Fintiri, who are you to say no? Or who are you to say anything contrary to what the president said? He has seen the giant strides that the governor is doing. He has seen what the governor is doing is positively impacting the lives of our people. So the president has nothing but to applaud him, but to commend him because he has done the right thing. Honestly, we are happy. We are lucky to have such a leader. And let me chip in and tell you, no wonder Fintiri is the man that they could not stop.
According to the context,
yes, the context of that book written by Commander.
Yes.
You see, I really concur to that assertion. Honestly, he is a man that they could not stop.
Now, there are those from different quarters who might, that's their opinion anyway. They say perhaps the coming of Tinubu to Adamawa State Commission, some of these structures, some of this project is actually a testament to preparation for the defection of Governor Fintiri to the ruling APC. So there has been these rumors making the rounds that Governor Fintiri is getting set to defect to the APC. Should he defect to the APC, where will your stand be as a lawmaker of the People's Democratic Party in Adamawa State?
Well, let me say it here that Governor Fintiri is a leader. He's our leader, he's our director, he's our mentor. And I tell you, this is why we said, is it a song that was written by somebody? He said, Kafar Kakafam. And that statement alone spelled it out.
So wherever he goes to. So are you also defecting to the APC?
Sure, we are defecting.
For record purpose, are you also going to defect to the APC?
We will defect to the APC. We will defect to the APC because our leader is going there. We cannot afford to leave our leader.
Okay.
Yes, we'll go with him because he knows the way, he shows the way, and he leads the way.
And you think he will do much more better
in fact,
if he defects to the APC?
Governor Fintiri is an asset, not a liability. So I cannot see why he will be leaving, he will be going the other way, and will be leaving and going the other way. It's not possible. We are going together.
What about those?
And this is for the betterment of our people. It's not about us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. His defection is for the betterment of our people.
Certainly.
Okay.
And even the APC, the former APC, they are supposed to be happy as Fintiri is coming back to the.
But a lot of them are not happy.
Of course, they will not be happy because they have never won any election.
They say he's coming.
But he's coming to help them.
Pretenders over the party.
Of course, he has to because automatically he will be the leader of the party. And I tell you, when he comes into the party, you will see changes positively in the party.
But what becomes of those, or some of you, who are, of course, genuine Kakari members of the People's Democratic Party, who also wish to contest for the next election? Because I don't know whether you still intend to run after this tenure elapsed. You still intend to run, and if you will run, you'll be running on the platform of the All Progressive Congress.
There will be dialogue. We will sit down on the table and discuss.
Okay.
That one is political.
All right. So I should just let you
that one
the box one now.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, all right. And now, finally, Adama women, before now, they have been this expression of displeasure that they've been left behind before now. But truly, and truth be told, the regime of Dr. Amadou Fintiri has brought a kind of illumination to the women of Adamawa State. Talk to me how that has changed the narrative.
Certainly. I'm a living testament to some benevolent activities of His Excellency. Honestly, he has set the pace that, or he has given us a platform where the woman or women can come up and say all that they want or contribute their quota. You can see it. It is in this regime that we have the deputy governor as a female.
That's right.
And we have all these 21 local government vice chairmen. And I think by and large, we will soon have chairmen as women in local government. Even in the state assembly, we are agitating for that. We will have more women to come on board so that we now contribute our quota. We are working towards that. I bet you Dr. Fintiri will give us that our portion so that we will now bring our quota for the betterment of Adamawa State.
All right, there's no better way to end this conversation than now. Honorable Kate Raymond Mamuno, member representing the Demsa constituency, thank you so very much for coming to Political Affairs Indeed. This is just a part one of the conversation. We'll definitely reschedule for a build-up and a part two where we'll have more expositions, on your intentions in the political space. Thank you once again for being part of the show. All right, viewers, that's our show for today. Thank you so very much for being with us from start to finish. Join us again same time, same station as we come with a fresh edition of the program. Until then, stay safe. My name is Chris Jacobs. God bless Nigeria. And for those of you following the conversation on Facebook page, I need you to send your comments, suggestions, and questions in the comment section, and hopefully we'll get some responses. Thank you for watching. God bless Nigeria.